Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Bellegarde. Goodbye. I am here with the Choose the Crew minus Midge. Midge is still busy. Won't be here for a little while.
Utari.
Still. And Utari. Utari is probably late because he has small children to deal with. Which, you know, that is how things work out sometimes. Anyway, today we're playing Urban Jungle. We're playing this furry noir anthropomorphic role-playing game. It's a single book RPG, so all you need to buy to play the game is this one book. You can find it on DriveThruRPG. It's 50% off, has been 50% off for a long time, but you gotta print to order hard copy. So you get this really nice, really, honestly, quite sturdily made hard copy. If you want to, however, there is various expansions. There's a film noir expansion, which is like a Flash Gordon, cathode ray, science fiction kind of thing.
We're playing the film noir version.
Yes.
The film noir is the base version. You got the
sci-fi version.
Yeah.
Then there's also the expansion, which is the horror from the deep. So any kind of 1920s. If you wanted to play Call of Cthulhu but with furry animals, you can do that now. That's available to you. Otherwise, however, if you want to support us, you can go onto our Patreon, which is where you get to give us the biggest cut. So if you want to support us directly, $1 on the Patreon is a great way to do it. Alternatively, you can subscribe here on Twitch. You can go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe, watch the content there. That'd be really helpful. Otherwise, yeah, you can feel free to sit here and watch. We appreciate anyone here who's lurking, who's in the chat, who's here live or otherwise. We always appreciate that. I see Midge is in the chat waving at me. Hi, Midge. Of course, we have...
in here, Midge.
No, he's busy. He got work to do. The man's got to pay
Why is
bills
he in the
and
chat?
stuff. Because he likes listening to us talk, I guess. Anyway.
That's just stupid.
Isn't it? Anyway, speaking of listening to us, you can find all of our shows in individual podcast channels. You can find them by searching the show's title. Except for this show. If you want to find this show, you got to search Component Cast Specials. You can find that basically anywhere. You can find our Dungeons and Dragons show, the Eleanor Chronicles, our Urban Jungle show, Recording Nights, there's Wyhander show, the Grace Against the Moral Natural show, which is business, and our specials including the Elite Dangerous Officer special, the Grease with Coffee Straight Moogle special, House of Time Midgeman special, and the Path of Ghost special, and the Bellegarde Goodbye special on the Podbean, Player FM, Podchaser, Listen Notes, Bloom Pay Up Podcast, Overcast Podcast, Castro, Castbox, Podcast Addicts, Podcast Republics, and Good Pods apps. Shows released on YouTube and the podcast channels at 12 noon GMT, Friday for Orlando, Saturday for Lancer, and Sunday for the specials. Please remember to turn on the auto downloader for your preferred app and be sure to leave a rating and review and share it with your friends. You can check out our links down below, by the way, so if you want to support us and also wear cool merch like this Lancer hoodie. You can't tell the actual color of the hoodie because it's in black and white right now, but it's a really nice hoodie, really well put together. Red's wearing one of the Component Cast shawl hoodies, as you can see. You can find all those links down below, and once the show has ended, so for example, once Lancer is finished and once Eleanor is finished, you can no longer buy this Lancer hoodie, the Lancer poster you can see over my shoulder, or any of that. This Trafalgar Nights poster that's sitting right above this crown that I have here is no longer
out of screen on yours.
No longer
out of screen on the stream.
Oh, it's out of screen. Well, over here, I have a Trafalgar Nights poster that's no longer in print. You can no longer get it unless Mitch decides to put it up on the spreadshirt for whatever reason, maybe an anniversary or something. It's limited edition. You can't get it anymore. Anyway, without further ado, we will get into the game. Hi guys, we're back. Last time we left off, Jake had just decided he was going to check out some gun stores in town, as he had learned that his local gun store, a good friend of his, had 10 of the 357 Magnums that they had shipped in. Unfortunately, there is another 100-ish to check to see if you can find. Lucy, you're with Jake. You're driving him towards the local office, local sort of industry office. Try and find records.
Okay, I'm not being firearms autistic, but I am. But 357, you said?
Yeah, they're only recent, I think, in this era. They're the newest thing.
This is 1928.
28. I think it's only recently out.
This is
it's very recent.
Reality.
So recent.
Okay.
It's 6 years
All
early.
right. They got things earlier. So.
I mean, initially I said it was a 44, but they didn't come out until the 50s. Mid-50s, even.
Closest one would have been a 38. Because that's what the parent case of a 357 is. 357 is just an elongated 38.
Welcome to the gun.
Welcome to the Roach is
podcast.
oddly autistic about about firearms history.
Welcome to the gun podcast and bullet sizes we're going through today.
And we're demonetized.
Welcome to the Guns and Ammo podcast.
Yep.
Not trademarked. That's a totally different thing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why I'm here.
I don't know. It's because your husband's here. You're like, I have to keep an eye on him to make sure he doesn't get in trouble. But yeah, you're going to check out some
20. years, and now she starts worrying about that.
So yeah, you have to go check out some weapons reports, basically just purchasing reports for firearms, and registries and such. They aren't incredibly common or very well maintained, but they do exist.
Yeah, this still would have been hand checks, or not hand receipts.
Yes.
With like carbon copies would have been this era.
Yes, you're on the way there. It's a quick drive, given that you were already in relatively the middle part of the city. You get to the office. There is parking spaces nearby. They're a bit narrow, probably for what your car is, but they do fit.
Lucy's used to that. She'll figure it out.
That's fair.
Even if they got paid parking on the side of the street and it's too long, she'll just pay two. She'll just pay for two spots.
Takes out like a nickel, puts them into two different slots. I assume a nickel.
She has the wealthy.
That's true. I'm not arguing about the money.
gift.
It's just really funny that you have to akimbo nickels to pay your parking tickets.
I'd say she did at the same time. She's not throwing them ninja stars.
No, she is. That's the canon now. She's
All
so
right,
used to it
cool.
that she just throws them over her shoulder.
You're making my character cooler as you go.
Yeah, apparently. Right, so you guys arrive there. It's not hard to, once you head inside, it's an older, dustier building. It's a building that has been kept around and sort of saved from the sinking into the swamps. So the wood's a bit more patchy. There's older and newer streaks of boards you see around. Some of the supports have obviously been taken out and then put back in with a newer, fresher log. There is a reception desk with a young man sitting behind it.
Go to reception.
He is currently chatting away to what looks like a friend of his. And the second you approach, the two of them stop talking to each other and start looking at, and he looks at you while the other person walks away. Hello, sir. What can I do for you?
My brain just went completely numb then.
Guns, babe. Lots of guns.
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 Yeah. I need to talk to somebody about a shipment of firearms that came in.
Oh, okay. Do you have a transport company?
Warrant?
Well, warrant maybe, but do you have a transport company in mind? Like, do you know who was doing the transporting?
No, that's why I need to track them.
Okay. Do you know where they came from?
We did have a name. I didn't write it down.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't remember it either. That's why I said no.
But
I wasn't
one
here,
lot came.
so
One lot came straight from the factory, and then another set came from California.
But we know where most of the, some of the Californians went.
We
though.
know where most of the California ones are.
Okay. I'm going to assume that DM kept a note of which company it came from and say. Blah, 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 blah.
I mean, I'm half tempted to be like, no, you don't remember. You just don't remember.
Your character doesn't remember.
No, I'm going to say that it's not been a week in your character's mind. It's been like less than 10 minutes.
Yay! Mikey doesn't know me. He doesn't know that I forget things in less than.
Hey, I've played with a DM
Nice.
that has a strict "if you've forgotten, your character has forgotten" rule.
to be fair, Rival, we've all played RPGs with you for so long. I think we know you. We're good. We know.
Yeah, he's not
Rival,
wrong. She's
we
not
know
wrong.
him.
She's not wrong. Rival, we know him. We know him.
I
I GM'd for a D&D campaign for you for how long? I know.
2.5
3
years,
years.
3 years.
Yeah. I know.
She knows. Okay.
And what did we learn from that, Roach?
Don't
That
give his
Rival's
character
characters like to.
drink elven cooking wine.
No,
That I haven't. I've only
that's-
seen a
that's-
different character archetype once.
That's right. I like to kill things.
Yeah.
Right.
And Roach likes to try and make it as hard as possible for me to kill things, and then go, for fuck's sake, how?
Rival is the living embodiment of "this will kill."
Yes, that is Rival's like spirit animal, the I will kill man. Anyway, so the name is Norman Albright of Albright Shipping.
There you go.
So Albright Shipping. Okay.
My memory is writing it down right now.
That's not very nice. Red has a name. Anyway.
She's now staring at me through my camera because it's got a picture on the back.
There'll be a fight here in a minute. Anyway. So yeah, he goes, oh, yeah, no worries. And he, like, flips open this big, like, binder folder. And he flips it open and goes through it. Albright. Yeah, here he is. Had 100 Magnum pistols. Is that right?
Yep.
Let's see. 80 of them went to... the Smith's gun store. Should be on 27th and Lime.
Okay.
And the other one is the Timofeyev store. The other 20 of them went to 13th and Albright, which is, ironically enough, really near where Albright is. It's the street that's named after his building.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
No worries. And he
And I
closes
drop
up.
him a 20.
Oh.
20. Jesus Christ.
Here's a 20.
I'm rich.
This is true.
Thank you for the
Orange.
information. Here's $700.
I mean, in a modern era, that probably isn't too far stretched, depending on what the information is.
We've been
Hey.
struggling for a lead for this thing, for crying out loud. The guy deserves a little.
True. I guess in the context of modern day, that wouldn't be, because you are just going to a gun store asking, give me a list of your clients without a warrant. And they gave it to you. So kind of makes sense.
So this isn't a tip; it's a bribe.
Yeah, at this point, it is just a bribe.
Oh damn! Why is my camera not working?
Oh, I thought that was my end. Anyway,
Have you turned it off and turned it on again?
Yeah.
the standard.
Sorry.
We know you can't help it, rival.
Anyway, so since you've got this information, where are you going first?
I think we go for the Albright first.
Cool. Are you going to the actual gun store, or are you going to the gun store near Albright?
The gun store near Albright.
Cool.
Do the 20 first. It's the smaller of the jobs. Hopefully we'll get lucky and not. If we have to, then we'll go to the other 80.
Cool.
It basically depends on whether or not the GM feels nice.
Yeah. How nice am I feeling?
There we go.
You guys will find out. So you guys head out. Not that hard to get there. Very easy drive. There's not a lot of people on the road in this town. Town's small enough that most people either walk or take the tram. The tram is basically the only thing that actually stops you guys from getting there in record time, because the tram moves at its own pace. You get there.
So, we're still in Bellegarde?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to discount what you said, because technically it's a trolley that's in the center of the road.
Yeah,
at this
trolley
point in
tram.
time. Yeah, they didn't get rid of those. Yep.
Yet. You get there. It's a fairly small gun store. Corner building. Looks like it might have been some sort of a surplus shop at one point, and then they like pivoted straight to guns. Basically went, okay, surplus isn't really doing it anymore. We'll just start we'll just start packing guns instead. There is an open door with an open sign hanging on the glass next to it.
Go in.
Sure. Inside there is small racks of firearms. A lot of them look they look customized. There's a 1911 you see there that has custom grips put on it. There's a 38 special that looks like it's maybe been outfitted with a slightly longer barrel. There's another one next to it that looks like it has different grips, or maybe like a shortened grip for smaller hands. Various other firearms like that around that are customized. None of them are any bigger than a handgun though. Everything is small and compact and quite holdout would probably be the best way to put it. At biggest, the 1911 is probably the biggest pistol they have. When it comes to pure dimensions, anyway. There is a older man sitting behind the counter. He looks up at you guys from behind these very small circular spectacles and goes, "Hello, sir. What can I do for you today?"
Hi. We're helping the local PD with a shooting case. Happened down at the Amethyst Eye. You may have heard about it.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So anyway, it looks like the weapon used was part of a number that came in recently. I understand you had 20 delivered to you from the local gun merchant. Whatever.
He goes, "Oh, you mean the specials?"
Yeah.
One moment, and he pulls out he puts down like the firearm he was working on. It's not got a firing pin in it. You can see it lying on the table. Pulls out his logbook and starts looking through it and goes, "Okay, specials. Let's see. Here we go. I have all 20 listed here. Let me check just to make sure that nothing's missing." And he like literally turns to his side, opens up a sliding cabinet, and like counts, and you can see there's 20 guns in there, of the same make and model that you found in the hidey hole. And he goes, "No, they're all here, sir."
Excellent. Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Of course, if you ever need anything from me, please feel free to come back and let me know.
Oh, I absolutely will.
Oh, actually, what does this fire? Or what is this? Takes out one of the shells for a shotgun that she has like a single box of because she doesn't know. What is this, and where do I get more of these?
Let me see. And he holds out to take the shell. Takes the shell and looks at the bottom of it through his glasses. This is a 10 gauge birdshot. And hands it back.
It's odd that we call it birdshot.
It might be bugshot, given we use giant ant bugs things. Would probably that's terrifying to say out loud.
Yeah, pretty much. Can we not do that, please?
Yeah, they're not bugs of prey. They're mantises of prey. They're just giant, size of cats.
That's why everyone keeps
Don't
a
go out
shotgun.
into the swampland. You'll find the tarantulas the size of buildings.
Oh God.
Who's to say they don't already exist?
That's true. Like that scene from the cult classics Kong Skull Island.
I was thinking more
That's
of...
unfair to anybody watching. They won't get that.
No,
we
they
barely
won't.
remember what that joke's about. We just keep reiterating.
We keep it alive.
We don't know what it was about. We just know it was funny.
Yeah, we just keep bringing it back from the dead every now and again. You know, sometimes I'll just pull
Yeah.
out the defib and be like, let's revive this joke for one stream.
Yeah, that joke was in this episode that never got recorded. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. But yeah, all of a sudden, all I can
Okay.
imagine is that this world that we're living in is actually a world from the Helldivers universe where anthropomorphic animals have evolved to co-adapt with the bugs from that game for some reason, and it's terrifying in my head.
Somebody make a TTRPG of that.
That'd be hilarious. Anyway, yeah, so he gives you back the shell and goes, "I actually have a few boxes of this around here somewhere if you're looking for some."
I'll take. Yeah. What's a normal amount? Like half dozen boxes? Or is it,
he looks
no.
he-
What?
he's like-
looking at Jake Bullet Jake. What was his name to kind of figure? It's like a box.
he
too?
leans on the counter and goes, "Ma'am, a box usually has 12 shells in it."
Okay. Well. 3.
3 boxes that I can do. And he pulls out 3 boxes of the same birdshot brand. I assume the box that you have is like worn down and you can't tell what the brand is on it anymore. But now looking
Probably
at
have Austrian on the side of it or something.
Probably.
They're special made from the old country.
yeah. And he pulls out three boxes of the same shell and puts them on the counter and goes, "This amount of money, it's a moderate expense."
Just buys it.
Yep. You take your 3 boxes of shotgun shells, and you guys are now free to do as you please.
To the other place where the 80 guns are.
Cool. You get there. It's a much more upscale building. It looks like it was built to be a gun shop. There are like slots in the windows where you can tell that like there can be, you know, those removable bars put in. Excuse me. Those are down, probably inside at the moment because obviously the shop's open. Big front windows, which you can see are like various long guns and smaller guns sort of lying around, nicely placed to advertise. There's a sale on right now for let's see, there's a long gun sale going on right
Shotguns. Shotgun shells. There's
That'd
a
be
sale of
funny.
shotgun shells.
now. I was thinking about it for a second, but I'm like, no, that's a bit too on the nose.
10 gauge birdshot.
We bought too much 10 gauge birdshot. Please take some. You buy one
Each
box.
person as they walk in gets a box for free.
Yeah. If you're a 100th customer, we'll give you a box of 10 gauge birdshot for free. Yeah, it's a very nice upscale building that has a lot of obviously quite nice. Some of them are mass produced, but they're very nice guns.
Okay, I'll look for somebody, one of the servers, and
When you walk in, it's this big U-shaped desk. There are 3 or 4 people talking to servers behind counters. Some of them are closing on deals. Some of them are just seem to be talking about, you know, firearms and the industry and all that sort of stuff. There's one person who's on their own who sees you two come in and walks around the desk and goes, "So, ma'am, what can I assist you with today?"
Hi, Jake Bullet, private investigator. My associate, Miss Lucy. We're helping the local pleadee with the shooting down at the Amethyst Eye.
Yes.
The murder weapon turns out to probably be a special, and I understand you took 80 in recently.
I believe that number is correct. Give me a moment, and I will get my, I'll get the owner. And he walks around the counter again, goes into the back room, and after a few moments, an individual comes back. It's a wolf, about the same size as you, Jake. They are a grey wolf, probably from the northern part of America. You can tell because their fur is quite thick, and it's probably quite heavy in here for them. He walks around the corner and goes, "You guys looking for some guns that I want to double check I have them?"
Yeah, basically, the Amethyst Eye, there was a shooting down there.
Heard about it.
Helping the police with their investigations. They don't have the manpower, obviously.
Not uncommon.
The murder weapon could be a special. I understand you took 80 in recently.
That'd be correct, yeah. And he puts the book he was carrying under his arm on the table and opens it, searches through to find the list of specials. Okay, so according to this, I've sold 7 of them.
Right.
I did check the count in the back. There are 7 not accounted for because they've been sold. I have names, and that's basically it here. Those are any good to you?
Yeah, the names would be great.
There is Martha Williamson. I'll wait for Red to tell me she's finished writing stuff down.
It's good. Yeah. No.
Nathaniel Robertson. Lonnie Rizzo. Romeo Indigo. Zeta. O. I don't remember what O is.
Oscar.
Omaha? Oh, Oscar. Bernard Ferguson. Spelt the Irish way, so 1 S, not 2. Irish or British way, I suppose. Lee Schultz, spelt the same way as our good doctor.
No relation.
No relation. And then this is one more, I believe. Yes, this is 7. 2 more. Joyce Gomes. and Ada McCartney.
McCarthy or McCartney?
McCartney.
McCartney.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. That's all the names.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much for your time. I'll get out of your business now.
No problem, sir. And he will close up the book and leave. The server will go, anything I can help you with otherwise?
I'm okay, Miss Lucy.
I'm good.
All right, great. Come on back whenever you need anything. And he goes back to what looks to be like putting away. He's putting bullets into magazines for people.
God,
Nothing
that
like
is
being ready for
upscale.
war.
It is
I was
upscale.
gonna
Yeah.
say that is upscale. I don't have time to load my own magazines. Something easily done.
Yeah. Like, listen, I need
Easily
you to
done by the
load.
help.
I need you to load like 20 box magazines for me, and I'll come pick them up tomorrow. You know.
All right. I'm guessing we should go back to my office then, because we're gonna have to do some research on where these people are, live, anything
Sure.
else we can get our mitts on.
That sounds good. Ace.
As good a place as any. You'll have to talk
You
to
would
an
phone book,
operator. Yeah. You'll
phone books, or calling the operator, getting address details, all that kind of stuff.
All that good stuff and things. That'll keep you busy for a
And
little
we've been doing this all day, so
Yeah.
munchies.
Hungy.
Hungry.
I need some meat,
Ace.
preferably alive.
Preferably still bleeding. Ace, what have you been up to today? You are off today, I believe, from work because you need to spend time doing other stuff.
I got some adulting to do. So go grocery shopping with my mother,
Mm-hmm.
and also see if I can find a bus tour or a coach tour to the new beach and when those tours will be running,
Mm-hmm.
so I can take Mama down to the beach. What
Adulting.
General adulting, but I think she's gonna be having her mind on what happened literally 2 nights ago.
Right.
So she might go to the. Actually, that's a good idea. She's gonna go to the library
Okay.
and look up some newspaper articles about the gangs and sort of what's been happening with them the last year or so, and maybe talk to the librarian, because maybe not research is her strong suit, but talking to people definitely is.
Fair. So, let's start with the simple stuff. Grocery shopping. For the two of you, you can consider that a moderate expense. You can find the bus tours. They're pretty simple. They run both. They run in the morning, the afternoon, and in the evening. There's also a late bus back. Basically, if you wanted to go in the evening and then come back closer to 10 or 11 o'clock at night, because it's the what's this sea called again in the Gulf of Mexico? Is it the Gulf of Mexico Sea? Is that right?
It's
It is the Gulf of Mexico.
That
Gulf of
is
Mexico.
what
There's
it's
the name.
called.
There's
Yeah.
a literal name.
It's a Gulf.
It's a Gulf of Mexico. So since you're off the Gulf of Mexico, it never really gets too cold there anyway at night, so people can sometimes stay at the beach until late anyway. They aren't expensive for a round trip. You can go early, come back late, and enjoy your time. Then you probably bring your mother back home, and you head out to the library. The library tenant is happy to have you around. The library's pretty busy. There's some people here who are reading, who are working on, there's a small university in town. People are probably working on their theses or studying, whatever it may or may not be. There are a few people here who are just here to spend some time away from whatever. But you get there and it's not too hard to find the history of, like, the local history section where all of the kept records are for like newspapers and private zines, that kind of stuff. So is there anything in particular you're looking for?
So, I'm looking into stories about the Amethyst Eye itself, which may or may not exist because obviously it's an illegal joint, but everybody knows about it. And anything pertaining to any sort of violence between the gangs, but especially involving the
Okay. Go ahead and make a...
the pillars.
Ah, yes, the pillars. Go ahead and make a mind... academics, and if you have research as a gift, you can use that.
Well, that's just a mind check.
Just mind. Oh.
Oh, fuck me.
That's a critical failure. You rolled a 1 on the 1 dice you had.
I burned the library to the ground.
You'd burn the whole city down if that happened, which is kind of hilarious. So you begin searching through things, but almost immediately you realize that you have no fucking clue what you're looking for. You don't know anything about any of the the organization, the notations, anything like that. It's you just can't get your head around how they're doing things here. Like, this doesn't make any sense to you when it comes to organization, because you have to keep some level of organization at home with your paperwork and your taxes and your tips and stuff like that. But this just doesn't make any sense to you.
I leave, possibly looking flushed and embarrassed.
As you turn to leave, there is a library worker behind you. She's a weasel. You see on her name tag the name Elise. And she goes, "Ma'am, can I help you with anything?"
But, oh. Yes, please.
No worries. What are you looking for?
Well, I was at the Amethyst Eye a couple of nights ago, and it scared the living Lord out of me. So I was trying to find some information about the city and, sort of the criminal underground side of things. And I've just got all in the tits.
Okay, let's take a look. And she goes over to the, what would it be? It's like a big filing cabinet that has a bunch of files in it that are all named. And she goes, okay, let's see. And she flicks through everything like someone who's done this all before. Very much like she's very experienced at this. We shall see how she does. Oh. She is going to stop at one moment and then go, wait, and then goes a little bit further and pulls out a singular file. It's quite dense. There's quite a lot of paper in there. And she goes, I think this is everything that we have regarding the criminal history of our town. I think it goes up to around 1909, 1910-ish. There hasn't been a lot of stuff added to it yet because we're still trying to find all of it. Maybe a different library would have more, or maybe one of the local town repositories might have something, but this is all we have here, unfortunately.
Thank you. I appreciate your help. That's a little bit too late for me.
Oh, I'd recommend
thank you for your help.
I'd recommend the repository in town. It might have more about the more recent stuff, because obviously they get first dibs of all the papers and zines and all that sort of stuff that get written. They get first dibs on all of the copies, so they can archive them. They might not have given them to us yet.
Thank you. I'll go and have a look.
No worries, ma'am. Have a good day.
And you.
And you're gonna head straight there, I assume?
Am I? I might be too shamed and embarrassed that I couldn't look up. So what I might do is just buy all the local rags that I can find and take them home to read and make notes quietly by myself.
Sure. It's not hard to find, the local Bellegarde Times, the Bellegarde Staple, the Bellegarde Gazette, and some small local zines that sort of do more raunchy or gossipy kind of news, more tabloid news.
They're the ones that she likes the best.
Yeah. They're always talking about, the locals and their problems and the who's sleeping with who, that sort of thing. You get them all home. I'm going to say for all of those, it's not going to be a big expense, because a lot of them are like 5 cents each. And there's like 7 or 8 of them, so I'm not going to ask you to make an expense for that. You head on home, you start doing your notes. I'm just going to say you can feel free to like take the next few hours to look over this, and I'm going to assume you can take, like, let's say a 2 successes on a roll here, or you can roll and see if you can get more than 2 successes.
Mikey, I literally have 1 dice.
This is true. So yeah, you're taking the few hours to...
Yeah, I am.
Cool. So then we're going to go to Dr. Schultz. Mr. Schultz. Your day's been pretty quiet after that initial visitor from the soldier who you talked to yesterday. Not been very many people coming in asking for walk-ins. Not been very many people who have had appointments today. It's a more quiet day, so you're doing a lot of paperwork. You're filling out a lot of reports that have to go to the government, local and federal, about what you need to replenish, the controlled substances that you need to have replaced, be them alcoholic or otherwise.
Substances.
Yeah, be them alcoholic or otherwise, basically. And it's paperwork that you don't really like doing, but you have to do it, It's one of those bureaucracy things.
Ugh.
Goddamn bureaucrats. Your receptionist is helping you out as best she can. She's done all this sort of stuff with you before. She's doing a good job, and she always has. She hands you a form basically to sign. You sign it, and she goes, "That should be everything, Doctor. We should be all replenished by next Wednesday. I think the delivery should arrive."
Very good. Thank you, ma'am. That, as always, that has been incredibly helpful.
Oh, of course, Doctor. I'm on the way. Since we've got no appointments left today, will I drop this off at the government office and we'll call it?
I think that would be a wise idea.
All right, and she will gather up all of the documents she needs, puts them into a binder, and then puts them into her bag. All right, Doctor, I'll see you in the morning.
See you in the morning.
You hear the tinkling of the door open and then the turning of the lock in the door. And at that point, she's gone. You are on your own in your office for a few minutes before there is a knock on your back door. Just a...
Mysterious. I'm gonna go investigate.
Cool. Do you have a peephole in the door in the back, or do you
Of course, I've got alcohol on the premises. That would be
That's
stupid
fair.
not to have some sort of peephole.
That's true. So you take a look through the peephole and you see Benoît's there. Benoît is Midge's character, the monkey reporter.
Oh.
How many locks are on the back
appear
door?
in any way threatening, or
No, he's got his he's got a little reporter notebook out and he's just taking down a few notes and looks up at the peephole when he hears someone like moving on the other side of the door. He looks up at the peephole and then looks back down and keeps writing. His friend Everard is not there, who is the big gator who usually follows him around.
I'll speak through the door. Can I help you, sir?
Oh yeah, I got some information that you and your boys might like.
And what kind of information would that be?
I've been talking to a few friends on the behalf of Good Man on the Floor for the Amethyst Eye, and she would like me to tell you and your friends, of course, that the Muldoon's meeting is happening, and he would like all of you there. So be there tonight at 10 at the Amethyst Eye.
I see. Well, thank you for that information. Is there anything else I can be helping you with, sir?
He looks at his notebook and goes, well, let's see. Oh, yeah. There's some belief that the three suspects are going to be approached relatively soon. The ones that the police have in mind. Maybe talk to your friend Mr. Bullet about that.
I'll keep that in mind.
Otherwise, no, sir. Have a good rest of your day. I gotta go hand in some stuff here to my editor so we can get some stuff done and I can keep making money. I'll see you around, Doc. And he just walks away, walks down the alleyway.
Fair enough.
When he gets to the end of the alleyway, if you're still looking at the peephole, you see Everard, his gator friend, like join him as they walk down the street.
Suspicious. I've got whose number? I've not got Bullet's number, have I?
I'm going to say you do because you probably got it off him,
Okay.
or you could find it in the papers.
Well, I don't think my character is aware whether he's in or not, so he's gonna attempt to call Bullet.
Rival, make a d20 roll. $15? Yeah, you're in. So your phone goes off. You're probably looking over. You're probably having your lunch, probably the big thing, or your early dinner, whatever it might be.
Hello?
Hello, this is, Bullet, correct?
Yeah.
I was approached by a, reporter fella with, some information that, you would probably require for this, little investigation we got going on. Now, this fella...
One second. Who is this?
It's the good doctor. It's Schultz.
Oh, hi, Doc. What's up? Information.
Yes, so, as I was saying, this fella here, he let me know that the police are allegedly moving on the three main suspects soon. So it may appear that we are pressed for time to investigate this matter before potential arrests that could either impact the investigation or perhaps set things in motion that would not go well for those that are part of that underworld, if you catch my drift.
I don't suppose this. I'm guessing it was Benoît.
I believe that is the gentleman, yes.
I don't suppose he gave you a name or anything that these people are going to arrest.
No, he didn't, did he? He's like,
Nope. He just told you the
Nope.
stuff was going to move, and that was it.
things are
Okay.
gonna move. No names were exchanged. What
Right.
was the other thing? We're invited to attend the, I've got baby brain.
the Muldoon.
The
meeting.
Muldoon meeting.
The Muldoon meeting, right. Yeah, so that's the he also mentioned about the Muldoon meeting as well, that we've been invited to attend, if I recall, yeah.
Okay, and when's that?
At 10 p.m.
Tonight. You know about this, Jake. She was
Tonight.
already talking to you about this. He wanted to let everyone else know. Is the thing here.
All right. Are you going, Doc?
Well, I can't say I've got much else going on, and it's kind of an invitation I feel like I'm kind of obliged to accept.
All right. I suggest we go separately,
That
see what
would
we can
be,
learn, and then come back together afterwards.
that would probably be the wisest course of action.
Okay. Well, thanks for the tip, Doc. I got some investigating to do.
Absolutely. Best of luck to you, sir.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'll then transfer all that information over to Lucy.
Cool.
So she is aware of what's going on as we go back.
I'm
to
assuming I
our-
was here while you were talking.
Well, I don't think you're going anywhere else, are you? I mean, look at me. I'm a wolf.
What does that have to
Wolves
do
are the
with
coolest
anything?
characters. You know they are. There's a reason every good fairy tale has a big bad wolf.
I could list like half a dozen off the top of my head, but don't. So
Fairy tales. Sorry, Mikey.
No worries.
Hijacking your podcast.
No, I'm just letting you guys have fun. It's a great way for me to make sure that you guys lose because you guys aren't taking your actual time to get the investigation solved.
I'm the driver. I don't know.
I don't know what's going on here.
I just work here.
I'm just walking.
All right, so you have this information now. You're in the middle of doing your checking. Lucy is working on things at the moment. Cool. Luna's sorry, not Luna, not Lucy. Ace is working on things right now. Cool. So we're gonna do a little bit of a time skip. We're gonna go forward a little bit. Jake, you spend your time. Jake and Lucy spend time looking up these people in the dictionary. Sorry, in the diction and in the phone book and talking to operators. You find information basically that states that all of these people live in Bellegarde. All of them have addresses and all this sort of stuff. And they're all registered gun owners. You get all the information you need. But by the time you get there, because it's a lot of like calling and waiting and all the sort of stuff. You know, you gotta hurry up and wait basically to get stuff ready and stuff done. You discover it is basically time to start to get ready for going out to the meeting with the Muldoons tonight.
I put on my cleaner of my two hats.
The one has less blood on it.
Yes, the one with less entrails.
Yep. I assume the rest of you are getting prepared.
What kind of detective are you?
A murdering one. The Bigby wolf kind.
Did anyone tell Ace?
Yeah, I sent carrier pigeon. An
actual
smoke
pigeon.
signals.
He said an actual pigeon.
The question is, was Ace reachable? At some place we would know that Ace is at.
I think I gave.
You did. You gave me your phone number. Well, you gave me your building's phone number.
Okay.
So you're aware of what's going on, Ace.
To the meeting.
You're all dressed up, ready to go. You get to the Amethyst Eye at different times because Jake and Lucy are driving. Well, Jake's being driven. You all arrive there. And as you pull up, you see that the place is busy again. There is a full line outside. There are maybe 20 people outside waiting to get in. Once the security guard sees the two of you, he just steps aside, lets you both in. Place is as busy as always. You can see that the hole in the ground where the bullet went has been patched. And people are just around milling as always. There's people at the gambling tables. There's bartenders serving drinks. There's the usual general hum of people and music.
Hum-a-dum-dum-dum.
Yeah. Exactly right. The hum-dum-dum. That's all exactly what you hear. It's about your hum-dum-dum.
All different pitches and different like cadences. They're just that same thing across the entire building.
Indeed.
So instead of a bass, it's just a guy going hum-a-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum,
Yeah.
humming out the walking bass line.
So, where are you guys headed?
Wherever Jake's going. Duke. Sorry, wherever Duke's going.
There's a ginger cat behind the bar.
Don't tell me you've actually made a Duke NPC.
Yeah, Duke's in the... hello. Yeah. Duke wants attention.
Sure
Why are you
does.
looking at that camera? Should be paying
God, I
attention
need
to
to brush him.
me. I'm cute. Look how cute I am.
The podcast listeners, my cat is in camera.
If you can't tell.
For podcast listeners, the cat was in Roach's face.
That's what
This
that
is a very
means.
cute cat.
Oh, yeah, he is. Yeah, I
Red,
guess.
want a cat.
I know you do, babe.
We have permission from our landlord to get a cat.
I know, but we don't have
Mm.
permission from animal shelters to put them in the 4th floor.
That'll be fine. I'll take him to work. Everyone will love it.
This is true. Take your
D-
pet to work day. Just rival walking around with a cat on his shoulder.
Sounds fun until they get scared or jostled, and then it's just bandages.
Well, it's another way of having like a first girl.
True.
Only it
So-
eats and digs its claws in occasionally and makes biscuits on your shoulder.
So we're here because there's a meeting with the Muldoons.
Yes.
That's happening. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so well, we go to the meeting. I mean, I'm assuming it's in the VIP section.
Yes, you'd be correct. So you head up the flights of stairs. You are not stopped as you get there. When you head to the 3rd floor, you notice that it's been set up very differently than the last time you were here, where there was tables and a small dancing area and a full band. The band has been cut down to about a half size, so there's less people. The middle of the room is basically just been filled with a dividing wall that has probably been pulled out of somewhere. There is a table and several chairs around it. The madame is there, like she's directing people to do stuff and get things ready. She's fanning herself with this big floral fan, and she turns and sees you two and goes, "Hello, my dears, welcome."
Madam?
Nice to see you're on time.
That's only polite.
Well, it's appreciated, and she continues fanning herself as everything is set up. There's that wafting smell of like fresh food in the air, and wine and like strong liquor. As she sits down at one of the chairs at the table. The Muldoon's contingent should be here in the next 10-15 minutes. They will expect your entire cohorts to be here. So you two, the doctor, Benoît will be here, as will his friend. I expect your friend Lily Rose to be here too.
She's been made aware, but she's working on her own timetable at the moment.
Ah, right. She's also further out of town. That's also fair. You guys have the advantage of having a motor vehicle. Of course, that's no worries. You guys can sit wherever, but remember when you sit, that is where you will be sitting. And once your friends come here, if there's no seats next to you, they will be forced to sit wherever there's space.
We take a seat. I mean, what else is there to do until the Muldoons turn up?
No worries. So you take a seat. I'm going to say, Doctor, you show up next. Very similar situation. You walk in. The bouncers don't pay you any mind. You get inside. I don't think you've ever been to the fancy area of this place.
No, it'd be first.
Yes. So you go in and, you assume you'll be heading upstairs, at least up one flight of stairs to the area you were in with your previous group of folks. You head upstairs and you don't see any of your friends, and then you see the guard standing next to the flight of stairs going upwards wave you over.
Ooh, being waved.
Yes. So I believe you're looking for
wave, so I'm gonna. Oh, sorry.
So I believe you're looking for the meeting, correct, with the Muldoons?
Yes, that will be correct, sir.
Up the flight of stairs here. You should see the Madame and your friends. They've already arrived.
Thank you kindly.
No worries, sir. Enjoy your meal.
Already been invited, so I'm gonna go.
So you head upstairs. So yeah, big open area. Was probably at one point designed for sitting and drinking and enjoying the music. You see the divider, and behind, at the far end of the room, there is a bar, and you see the bartender notice you, and then he looks up and says, "The doctor's here," and then the Madame steps out from behind the separator and goes, "Oh, good doctor, please come over here, join us."
I'll proceed to join.
You see Bullet and Lucy are already there. There is nobody else there other than the four of you, basically, the Madame, yourself, Lucy, and Bullet. And she says, "Take a seat, good doctor. Remember, once you sit, that's where you will be seated for the entire meal."
Of course, and I'll proceed to take a seat at the table.
Cool. Are you sitting next to Lucy or Bullet, or are you sitting on your own?
I'll sit next to Lucy.
Cool. Next up... Next up, we have Lily Rose. You arrive next. You've not been back here, obviously, since the shooting, so maybe it's a bit of a different experience for you. But you do see that the bullet hole that was in the floor has been patched, and there's no sign of any blood or any smell or anything like that will give it away. When you walk inside, obviously there's the bartender, the tall, quite regal ginger cat, who is working away on... He's currently mixing some cocktails, it looks like, for somebody.
Excuse me, do you know where the madam might be?
And he looks down and he goes, "Oh, yes. You're Lily Rose, correct?" Ah, yes. Head up
Yes,
the flight of
sir.
stairs here to my left, and then when you get up there, there'll be another flight of stairs on your left. The the guard will let you upstairs, and that's where you'll find her.
He'll know me.
Of course, yes.
Thank you very much.
No worries, ma'am. He goes back to mixing the cocktails, and you head all the way upstairs.
I go all the way straight up.
Cool. You get all the way to the top, and the bartender does the same thing and says, "Hey, Lily Rose is here." The madam looks around the cover, the shroud, and says, "Oh, of course, Miss Rose, please come over here." And you see Lucy, you see Bullet, and you see Dr. Schultz all sitting at the table, prepared and ready. She goes, "Please take a seat. We are expecting the Muldoons in a few moments."
Thank you, madam. It's Miss Stone or Lily Rose?
Ah, yes, Miss Stone. Please take a seat.
I take a seat next to Jake.
Of course. She sits down essentially so you guys are basically sat on one side of the table from the second seat down to the end. The madame takes a seat next to Jake at the head of at the top end of this table. So it's Jake, Lily Rose, Lucy, and then Dr. Schultz at the end. The other side of the table is entirely empty, and the head seat is also empty. After a few moments, you hear what sounds like walking up the stairwell on the opposite side, which you guys know is the emergency stairwell that you saw people escaping out of last time. And then 5 people arrive. The first person to arrive you see is a tall, well-fitted suit wearing coyote. He is not visibly armed, and he is accompanied by 5 other folks. He sits at the head of the table. Everyone else sits at the opposite. Everyone else sits at the opposite side of the table as you guys. He immediately approaches the madame. The madame stands up and holds out her hand. He takes her hand, kisses the back of it, and goes, "Ah, madame, pleasure. Thank you for inviting us." And she goes, "Oh, of course, my dear. Please take a seat, and we will get this. We'll get our meal started. Would any of you boys like anything to drink?" And they all order a drink. She orders herself a drink as well, and then looks to you 5 and you 4 and go, "Would you like a drink as well?"
Coffee.
Coffee.
A lemonade, please.
Lemonade.
I'll take a bourbon, please. Thank you.
A bourbon, of course. And Miss Lucy?
You're asking me, as somebody who doesn't drink, I have no concept or or experience, so whatever makes sense for...
Well, given her personality, she definitely would drink bourbon. She would definitely drink like a liquor, so a bourbon for her as well, I'd say.
Alright, makes sense.
Of course,
I guess.
2 bourbons, a lemonade, a coffee, and so she orders everything. It takes a few moments, and everything is brought out. You all sit down. Everard and Benoît have arrived at this point. They arrived a little bit after the Muldoons, and they will sit down at the far end of the table. Basically, it's Benoît is at the very end of the table, next to Doctor, and then at the foot of the table, essentially, how this has been laid out, is Everard. And then the entire opposite of the table is made up of Muldoons, and the top of the table is this coyote. He picks up his drink and takes a sip. So does the madame. Of course, it's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be invited again to the Amethyst Eye. It's been too long since I've been here. My name is Jacob Theriault. I am a Muldoon lieutenant. I run the nearby Muldoon territory. We've been working quite diligently to discover any reasoning why any of my men would have done this. We have one person who we believe is in police suspect at the moment. Her name is Viola. She's a coyote like myself. She's one of our heavies. She was in the area that night, I know. We've seen her a few times since. she's gone into hiding because she knows she's been suspected by the cops, but I know where she is, so I'll give you guys the general sum of things here. I don't trust any of you. I'll put it that way. I don't know if she did it or if she didn't do it, but I can't just be letting you all walk into my territory and basically rough handle or own a situation like that on my turf. It just isn't good for business.
We understand, sir.
He takes another sip of his drink, and at this point, there are menus provided. The food is quite lavish. It's quite upscale. There's a lot of expensive items on there that you probably wouldn't expect there to be in most other places, even the higher-end restaurants. Benoît orders, Everard orders, the entire Muldoon section orders, the Madame orders, and then she asks you guys if you want anything to eat.
Lily Rose has already eaten.
Well, the doctor's
So-
probably in as well.
Once I get to dessert, she'll have a dessert, but she's not going to have another meal. That feels wasteful.
Okay, so the Doc and Lily Rose aren't eating. Are Benoît and Lucy eating? Sorry, not Benoît. Are Jake and Lucy eating?
No, Jake isn't eating.
Well, we've already eaten before we got here, so Lucy will take a meal.
Cool. Lucy, you order something nice and fancy off of the entree list and the starter list, and you know there's going to be a dessert menu brought out afterwards. As the orders are taken and the food, well, the drinks are refilled. There's a few people who require a refill. The Madame looks to Benoît, and Benoît opens up his notebook and goes, Mr. Theriault, we understand that you have a reputation to uphold, and I especially get that. My word is my bond, and if I burn bridges, then it makes my job even more difficult than it already is. But you're still going to ask something, right? He responds. He cuts into him. Well, we kind of have to, don't we? I mean, if you suspect her even, and he pinches like his chin a little and goes, I don't know if I should suspect her. I don't know if she's just caught up in a bad place at the bad time, or if she's actually doing things behind my back. But Viola has always been a very, very good servant to us. There's a reason why she runs a small section of the territory now. So, you know, it's gonna be a thing of, if you want that information, you gotta figure out a way to get it yourself. I can't be giving that out.
Mr. Thoreau, I'm Lily Rose. I think the main confusion that we have is we don't understand why the gentleman killed. Because as we understood it, the pillars had no beef with no one.
That'd be correct. I will listen. This information quite obviously isn't affecting me in any way, but I will tell you this: that gunman was definitely not an in-town hire. I've talked to anyone I can get. I've talked to a few contacts here or there. The only thing that I can get is that this gunman seems to have been someone who has come around town, maybe blown into town off of one of the many, many carriages or trains rolling around, and I don't know. Obviously, that's the information I have. I could be wrong. I don't know who to trust either in this situation. We try not to hire out of town talent very often because it's a bit shady, even for my tastes. You know, you can never, if you want to trust something to somebody, you trust it to a professional, and I don't necessarily believe that some of the out of town hires are professional, at least not to my standard.
At that, Ace just gives Jake a look.
Why?
Previous episode, Ace told Jake about the cleaner that she had met.
True. I did forget about the cleaner. Thank you very much.
At some point, we're going to start to stream, and Rival's going to have a whole like chalkboard behind him with all of the lines going between things. And
No.
it'll be ready to set it up, but it won't be.
No, I won't do that. I will not do that, because if I do that, it'll happen all the time. Okay? It will. And it'll become a thing.
It'll be behind Red instead, then, because it'll actually be Red's project.
You have a wall. Enjoy. I'm trying to decide whether we tell them about the specials that are...
At this point, the food arrives for people who ordered. Those who didn't order, they give you like a little entree, you know, a little finger food, snack food stuff.
Okay, I'll, while people are kind of sat eating and just like... Yeah. It's interesting you should say that, because I've heard word of an out-of-city cleaner coming into town.
His eyebrows furrow as he's eating.
And also know of a special being used as the murder weapon.
Any details
Wild
on this
off.
cleaner?
Still working on that. But the special never had a serial number stamped into it anywhere.
He looks a bit taken aback by that.
Now, if the cleaner is from out of town, did use a weapon that's never been registered, how would they know to hide it inside one of the support poles just down the street?
That is an interesting question.
That would mean that someone told them they could do that. So, I am assuming, sir, that you are being completely honest and not withholding information. Because it's in your best interest for us to capture this person, get them off the street before they interfere with honest trade.
Yes.
But if this is an out-of-city cleaner, that would suggest that they have been hired by someone and have been given resources.
He looks to his henchmen or his bodyguards or whoever they may or may not
His
be.
lieutenants.
His lieutenants. The lieutenants of the lieutenants. And he looks a little complative for a moment before turning back to you and going, I'll get you their details. I'll get you where they're hiding.
I appreciate that, sir.
That's all the help I can... That's all the help that I can provide you. The Muldoons won't have anything else to do with this investigation. Not because we have anything to hide, but we don't need anyone sniffing at our doorstep.
I can appreciate that. If you could get me those names and the location, I'll take it from there.
He holds out a hand to one of his lieutenants, who pulls out a pocketbook and hands it to him. He pulls out a pencil and writes some stuff down on a piece of paper. He tears it out and hands it to you.
I read the piece of paper. At this point, the DM tells me what's on the piece of paper.
No, you can't read. You've been illiterate this whole time.
Shame.
Yes. The full name is Viola Ozwenska. She is a coyote, much like her boss. She is staying on 71st and Low. One of the corner buildings. It is the third floor apartment building, basically. The bottom floor of that building is a it's actually, funnily enough, a clothes shop. Where people will usually get their, like, you know, workday suits, more or less. It's a well-known sort of... It's not really a well-known, but it is kind of sort of rumored to have been a Muldoon building because of the fact that there have been some sightings of Muldoons going in and out of the back doors, but no one really knew, but now you know for sure. There is a notice at the bottom of this that says knock on the door twice, pause, and then knock on the door 3 times, basically.
Okay, I memorize all this, by which I mean, hey, Red.
That makes you mean Red memorizes it by writing it down.
Take out a lighter and burn the piece of paper on
in your
an
empty
ashtray
coffee
or
mug.
something,
something
like that.
Yeah. There's an ashtray on the table.
Yeah, and just light it, burn it. Thank you for your help, sir.
Thank you for your discretion. As for any other information or anything else I can tell you, I'll tell you a little something that I know has been rumored in the gang. There is some belief that Viola's been messing around with a Lombardi. We're not too sure on that one, but if there was a woman who could do that, it would be her.
I'll ask her about it.
You might have to.
Well, gentlemen, I think this is a good time to call the end of this meeting, for me at least.
Indeed.
Me and my associates should retire downstairs.
And the madame goes, if you want any desserts brought down to you, please just order it at the counter.
I think Miss Rose might want one.
Thank you, madame.
As you guys all stand up, the Muldoons are still eating, and as you walk away, you hear the madame go, well, that was a positive meeting, wasn't it, boys? You see how sometimes you gotta just, you gotta cooperate on occasion, and then you start walking down the stairwell. You get downstairs, there's an open booth that you can all fit in. A waiter comes over and asks if you want anything to drink or if you want anything to eat. If you order anything, they'll get it for you. And now you're sitting on your booth. Well, in your booth, on your own.
It's also break time.
Indeed, which is the perfectly timed time for this. So we're going to take a quick 10-minute break. We are going to be back in 10 minutes flat. We will go get ourselves some snacks, go to use the bathroom, get some water, do whatever you need. We will be right back after these short messages.
Hey, come here a minute. Do you need royalty-free music for your TTRPG content, whether that be a YouTube video, stream, TikTok, Instagram post? Don't worry, we've got you covered. My name's Alex, I've been a content creator for almost a decade now, and I've teamed up with my good friend Harry to produce 10 royalty-free songs for you to use in your content completely for free. We've tried to make a whole range of motifs with this album, covering happy music to sad music, to mystery music to combat music. And if this takes off, you know what? We might even make some more. So give the Elendor Chronicles soundtrack Volume 1 a shot. it's free to stream everywhere. And if you want the high quality downloads, you can come over to our Patreon and download them, or you can contact me directly at tabletop@themidgemansworld.co.uk as a creator, and I'll just give it to you for free. That's it, there's no catch. And just to prove it, we've also given you guys a user license agreement to prove that you have the complete perpetual rights to use this content. So enjoy, and good luck on your next adventure. Oh, good day. I'm Martin Sanderson, and I'm the CEO of Avari Military Solutions. We here at Avari know that it doesn't take much to cause problems out on the frontier, whether that be from local pirate raids, neighbouring interstellar powers, or even just an unhappy populace with unreasonable demands. Just what is a small to mid-sized regional power to do when faced with these problems? You look to Avari for your solutions. With open-ended contracts, well-trained personnel, state-of-the-art aerospace forces, and competitive rates, we stand ready to help find the right solution to your problem. So if you have a problem, why not call Avari for your solution? Our operators are waiting to take your call, and consultations are free of charge.
Avari Military Solutions, a solution for your problem.
Avari Military Solutions is not licensed to operate within the Kark and Dre Baronies, the Andes Corps, or any Class A combat zones. AMS is a subsidiary of Omni Radiance Holdings, a family company.
When is a story more than a story? When a tale is more than words on paper? When is an ad more than the script it's written on? In the darkest and deepest annals of our own history, worlds of wonder and splendor burst through like a blister made of hope on the brain that's wrestled and riddled with madness. A radiant pustule. Writing. Art. That's storytelling. That is the true lust of life. You too can dutifully indulge in art. Like fans of the greats. Shakespeare, King, Tolkien, Seuss, Mercer. You too can indulge through Twitch Prime. Get an extended access to a wealth of knowledge with a simple click, an emotion so small that it could endlessly amount possibilities. Embrace those feelings. Support art. Support the component cast.
Hey guys, welcome back. Apologies, I'm trying to get my snack into me. You guys are sitting at the booth all together after getting this information from the Lombardi. What are you up to?
Did any of the names of the people who bought guns match the name of the lady we've been given?
No.
But there was a lot of female names in there, wasn't there?
Yeah. 3.
Just a question, since Lucy's like somewhat connected, I guess just like in certain circles, but I guess like generally because of her class, like her, like, do any of the names from either lists sound familiar to her, or like even family names or anything?
Well, you're from the Northeast, right? Originally?
Yeah, she's from the East Coast, but she's been here for like a while, like for a bit, and she's hanging out with, moderately, well-off circles lately. So just wondering if anything rings a bell.
I'm gonna say nah. No, there isn't anyone really.
Okay.
Did you not think it best to talk about the jackal, Mr. Bullet?
I mean, yeah, but don't want to play cards too open, you know?
I understand. That's why I
Yeah, I mean, we let them know that we've heard, or I've heard, that there's a cleaner from outside town, but did you notice he furrowed his brow?
I did. I'm good at watching people's faces.
I'm not sure if we were supposed to know that, but it's clear he wants things kept internally. Maybe they are involved and they're trying to keep things going in a direction that doesn't involve going out of town, keeping their hands clean, or they're just not happy that someone's gone outside.
We still don't. We still have no real motive.
Yeah. That's why we gotta keep asking questions. Follow where the leads take us. You keep following the leads, something breaks. It always does.
I like your hopefulness, sir.
It's not hopefulness, it's experience. When... You know what the hardest thing about a murder is? What happens after?
Like keeping it to yourself?
Not necessarily. Some people it's keeping them to themselves, but everyone plans up to the murder. The really good ones plan after. How are they going to get away? what are they going to do with the body? In this case, it was in public, so they had nothing they could do with that. So it's about the traces they've left afterwards. They were obviously concerned about being found with a weapon on them in the middle of the street, so they hid the weapon in a support pole. Goes the same for the ammunition.
Saying it's a fancy gun?
Yeah. It's a gun that has no serial number on it. It's a very new weapon. That suggests connections. What I'm saying is the person who did this knows what they're doing.
Like a cleaner.
Like a cleaner.
Fellow I met seems real calm when I was
Mm-hmm. If he is who he said he is, then it's his business. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. What we need to do is start talking to the people on the list of owners of those guns. And this Viola.
Oh. I'm wondering if it's... may not agree with this. If it's best itself or myself. Miss Viola. Because then we can just be lady friends, hottling in on
Miss
I
Lily?
I missed most of that. It didn't catch on the microphone.
Yeah, same.
She's suggesting that Lily and Lucy go talk to Viola. Less intimidating than a wolf in a hat with a trench coat.
It's an option, though a fox isn't much better.
Against a coyote?
It's up in the air. Depends on the coyote.
Does depend on the coyote.
It's an option.
If their first name is Wiley, then we've got all the chance in the world we'll be fine.
Alright, if you two are okay with that. I'll go back and keep tracking down the people on the list.
Well, it won't be this evening. Any calls after 11 p.m. are most suspicious.
Okay, if you two could do that tomorrow then.
Would you pick me up from the diner at lunchtime around 3?
Yeah, do that. It's not an issue.
Thank you, Miss Lucy.
All right. Doc, you keep your ear to the ground.
I certainly can.
Mr. Lessoile, do you have anything else?
You're talking to Benoît and...
I'm talking to Benoît.
Yeah, Benoît. Benoît looks at his notepad, thinks for a few moments and goes, nothing that I can currently action on. There was obviously the stuff about the other candidates, the other sorry, my brain. The other suspects that the police are working on. They have few options, of course, with a few different solutions that they can push forward on. My belief is that you probably have a more direct line to the police than I do, Mr. Bullet. So maybe talk to some of your friends in the police force there. They might be able to help you out. Otherwise, I'm going to keep my ear to the ground and my nose to the grindstone.
Fair enough. I'll see what I can dig up tomorrow.
Sounds good. And if anybody else has any questions, now would be the time to ask. Nothing from nobody?
Nope.
Cool. Cool. So you guys head on out then in the evening. Head on back to your house. Your housing, wherever you're staying for the evening. And you wake up the next morning, prepped and ready for a long day of work or of investigations or of just general pottering about.
I make sure I put my tiny little pistol into my work bag, all cleaned and everything.
Cool, no worries. So you find that, you pack everything away, it's all neat and tidy. Let's start with Lucy. Your morning is, of course, the same as you could expect. You pick up a nice continental breakfast. You're there with your usual breakfast accoutrement and your large plate of food. And a dog enters the room. You are approached by your friend who you interacted with on the night of the shooting. He walks up to you at your at your breakfast table.
Mm-hmm. That was
Ollie.
Oliver or Ollie.
Yeah. Ollie. Yep.
He sits
The Red
down.
Wolf.
Yes. He sits down and goes, "Nice to see you. How have you been?"
I've been grand.
It's good to hear. So I know you've got that like beach thing tomorrow you're supposed to go to. Can I come with?
There's a rapid moment of, of like scanning through her brain, just going, and like an internal monologue, just going like screaming. She forgot totally that was a thing.
Yep.
It's like, yes.
Yes. Yeah. So, can I come with?
I don't see why. I don't see why not. It wasn't. I don't remember it being limited invite.
That sounds
Do
great.
I remember it being limited invite?
No, your friends.
No. It was just kind of a spur of the moment thing, right?
Lloyd was like, "I'm gonna go there to go do some shooting for like magazines and stuff because he's an actual racer." and
Oh,
has a
right.
career."
Oh, actually. Oh, there's gonna be cameras there. Oh, does she want him there? Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's fine. Just trying to think of, is she well known enough that she's trying to figure out how well circulated the local photographers would be. Would
All I
it get
can
into a
imagine in my
paper?
head
Really
is-
big hats will be in vogue.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
no, it's more it's more like, will a picture get to a paper that is somehow printed in like in the big
Mississippi.
Gothic,
Yeah.
like where
Up in Missouri.
where her
Sorry, not Missouri.
where-
Massachusetts.
where her family will be.
That harlot sleeping with random men.
Yeah, she's gonna gamble. That sounds about right. Yeah,
She's
gambling.
gambling. Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah. No, that'd be fine.
Sure, that sounds great. I just wanted to.
Does he take note in my immediate hesitancy for a split second? Or,
I mean,
or does he have no other options?
He definitely notices it, but he assumes that you're like doing calculations in your head about things because he doesn't know a lot about you, but he knows enough to know enough.
Right. He knows enough not to ask.
Yeah, he knows enough to
Well,
he wants to ask, but he doesn't know enough to like know that you would be put out if you ever got found out, sort of thing. But yeah, he goes, yeah, that'd be great. I actually have a few things I need to do today. But I said I'd drop in early and catch up with you because I wanted to say hi. And I was coming around anyway, so.
Ooh. What are you what are you doing today?
Oh, I've gotta go visit my boss. He wants me to drop into him and gotta figure out a few other things with him. It's likely I'll be taking over his position in a few weeks when he retires, so he wants to hand things over to me really, really smoothly. You know, I work for Albright Shipping, you know. They're closing up the guy who's been in charge at the section's been in charge for like 6 or 7 years now. He's getting a bit older and he's retiring, and you know, he said to me that, hey,
Yeah.
I would like to get you in charge, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Sounds like a great time.
Yeah.
I love how I see Roach pulling her actual via notes book. It's really funny.
Yeah, these are my notebooks. I bought like a bulk pack of 10 of these. These are this is my actual GM, because I mean, I don't need any more than that. I don't take enough notes to fill one of these up for a whole campaign.
Yeah, so yeah, they're looking to ship out a few things, and I was considered for the role. I'm only probably going to take it over temporarily because, you know, Dad wants me eventually to be in charge of everything. So
Is his name Oliver Albright?
you never asked.
No, she wouldn't have. Huh. Shit.
Anyway.
Okay. Yeah. No. That's well. Congratulations on that. Is it a family business that you're
Yeah, Dad started it up a couple of years ago, and it's been really big. It's growing still, and there's some belief that, you know, it'll keep going for a while. And we believe we'll be expanding out to the West Coast soon. We've already got a line out to the East Coast, all the way up to the Big Gothic. So.
Huh. Oh, all right. I mean, yeah, congratulations on that. I'm hoping that goes well for you. Is there just retirement, just old age, or
Yeah,
other
he's
things,
been
or-
around for a while, and he was there even when we were, you know, I remember when I was a kid. He was around back then too, and Dad wants me to like do as many things in the company before I take over. You know, he wants me. I used to work as like a packer. I used to pack the actual packages into the trucks, and I did driving for a while, and then I did. Yeah, I'm kind of. Now he wants me to do like a warehouse management thing, so.
Yeah, I know how that is. Right. Out of character. What else should I ask? Because I'm blanking on things. Trying to remember all the notes. For connections. Apparently now her fuckboy is a part of this mystery.
Maybe ask about the western one, see if it goes to, because west is a long way, but see if it's specifically California.
There wouldn't be a lot of options out west actually for shipping, honestly, if it's induction. Yeah, that would be an option. So moving out to the West Coast, California is a pretty cutthroat market.
Yeah, Dad had his reservations about going out that far. We already had a line out to Utah, to Salt Lake. Been there a couple times. Well, nice place. I think you'd like it. It's lots of open space with, you know, big salt flats. There was that guy who like wanted to try to go really fast on the salt flats because, you know, big open plain with nothing on it. Go as fast as you want. But now he's.
I'm gonna let that. So I just need to double check this because I need to double check this because I need to make sure this isn't in character. Those salt flats aren't near Salt Lake City in any way.
Oh, he's aware. He's just saying that.
So does Mike not know? So does Mikey not know that? And it's just a thing, or does he not know that?
He probably has been to both, but in his mind, it's not that far away.
So he's just chatting up.
Yeah, he's just chatting up.
So it's not okay.
He's chatting immense. He's chatting immense game right now.
Okay. All right. Okay.
He knows what you like, and he's like, "Oh, these salt flats. I think you'd like them."
Yeah. Those salt flats, hundreds of miles away from.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, we're expanding out. We're expanding all the way out to LA. I think San Fran as well. There's a big.
That is a city there. Yes.
Big industrial shipping shift out there at this point. So we're looking to, have a coast-to-coast line, basically.
Yeah. What do you primarily do there? In terms of
private shipping, public shipping.
Just a private style. Yeah.
We do
wholesale,
a lot of food.
wholesale.
Yeah, a lot of food, a lot of grain, some smaller private
manufacturing.
stuff. Manufacturing, yeah, that sort of stuff.
Manufacturing.
We've shipped
industrial goods.
Yeah, there was a couple Model J's I think we shipped from the big Gothic down to Austin a little while ago.
Yep. Okay. Well, that's that character. That's interesting. All right. I'm glad things are going well.
Me too. Dad was worried for a while.
Oh, really? With things not going too well until recently, like a new contract came up?
Oh no, he's always just worried. Like he always expects something to fall. There was a case of with the war and with everything going on, he didn't know if things would work out very well and what shipping was going to be like afterwards, if there was going to be a big embargo on a lot of countries in Europe, that sort of thing.
That was... Yeah, that's in her mind, just going like, our business went up like 300% during the war. What would that mean? And just like, yeah, no, I can see that. Definitely is a thing. She's trying... At this point, Lucy's trying to balance the fact that she has intricate knowledge of international shipping and shipping companies and is trying to not betray that. Yeah. Well, it's always great when a family business does well.
We're looking forward to it. Dad wants to do a family dinner, big event next month when I get my promotion. So. Oh,
I'm sure that's gonna be great.
I'm sure it will be. Anyway, and he looks at his watch and goes, "I gotta get going. I'm gonna be late otherwise." It's been nice talking to you. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 9.
Yes. Yeah. 9's good.
Sure, I'll see you then. And he stands up and leaves.
Okay. I'll need to share this information with other people so that their players can then make a plan.
Lucy just sinks into the chair like, fuck.
Well, those are options. She finishes her breakfast and goes to, I guess sits on her hands for the rest of the morning because she has to wait till 3 o'clock in the afternoon to go pick up Ace.
Ace has a job.
Ace does indeed have a job.
Lucy does too, but she decides not. She doesn't want to do it, so she decided to have a year or 4 for herself.
A gap in time.
Yeah, a gap year, but not from education, from just her
life.
Yeah, her responsibilities at home.
Yes. Okay, we'll jump over
to... It's
to...
something people can do.
Apparently. We'll jump over to Bullet. Bullet, your morning is filled with very dark coffee and breakfast.
Steak.
Yeah, breakfast steak.
Extra raw.
Extra bloody.
And bloody.
Yeah.
Hey, fact,
Jake would
looking
be
at it
somebody.
from a right
with a-
angle, you could actually tell what it used to be.
Jake would definitely be the kind of guy that have black coffee and a ham steak for breakfast. Just
Yep. So yeah, you're up. You're ready for your day. What are you doing?
Basically, is there a phone book around this time?
Yes.
I am opening the phone book with the list of names that we got from the gun store and start basically trying to figure out who these people could be. So just basically ticking off anyone who's got the same name. So thankfully, it's not like John Smith. So it's
You have
like,
75 options.
Shit, I'm going to make a lot of phone calls today.
Yeah. No, there's not that many people. There's maybe 6 people a total who have the same name, but you can kind of write them off pretty quickly because some of them no longer live in town. They're only in the directory because the phone book has to say, hey, this person was in town until recently and has moved out.
So yeah, it's like basically doing that and then ringing the numbers to see if that person is still there, and if they are there and I can talk to them. Did you buy this type of weapon from this shop?
Sure. So let's go through down the list. The first person you call, you eventually get to the first person. There's a couple people who you gotta be like, the operator tells you, hey, this person's no longer in town. This person died a little while ago. This person has recently moved to a different area of town. And then you get to the next one, which is directed to, and they tell you that they have their gun and they are looking at it right now in the drawer of their desk.
Okay.
Who's that?
The first name on the list.
It's the first name on the list. Okay.
We're going down the list in sequential order.
Okay. I appreciate this may be an inconvenience, but would you allow me to come to your residence and just to see the gun? I don't need to touch it. I don't need to do anything with it. Just need to see that you have possession of it.
I'm busy for the rest of the day, but if you want to come over tomorrow morning,
I can do that.
yeah, that'll work.
Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow morning. About 9?
Yep, suits.
Okay. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 9. Thank you.
Great. And then the second person, same thing. 1 or 2 people who you have to be told no longer live in the city or various other things. And then you get on the line and they go, yes, I have it in my gun safe in my bedroom. Give me 1 moment. You hear the phone be put down. They go to their bedroom, you assume. And then they come back and go, yep, it's still there.
Okay, I know this could be an inconvenience, but would I be able to come across and see the weapon? I don't need to touch it or anything like that. I don't need to get anywhere near it. I just need to be able to say that you have it.
1 moment, and you hear the turning of paper. Would tomorrow at noon suit?
Absolutely it would. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Have a good day, sir.
Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow.
Next person. It's the very first phone call you make, actually. The person immediately picks up. Hello.
Hello, my name is Jake Bullet. I'm a private investigator helping the police with the shooting at the Amethyst Eye. We believe we've identified the murder weapon, but not entirely sure who it belonged to, so we're trying to track down all the people who have bought this weapon. I understand you bought a special from a gun store in town.
1 moment, that might have been my wife. And there's a yell and then a running of feet and then a hello, yes, I have acquired that gun. It is currently sitting in my purse.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. I just need to identify that you actually have the weapon, so would I be able to come across today or tomorrow to see this weapon?
Let me think. Would
I don't need to actually touch it or anything like that. I literally just need to be able to see it.
I'm just trying to figure out my schedule. Would this evening around 4 work?
That would work perfectly. Thank you very much. I do appreciate this.
No worries. And she hangs up. Next. It's another individual picks up. Goes, absolutely, sir. You can take a look at the firearm tomorrow around 10 for this person. The next person, same thing. Say, yep, no worries. You can come over around 11 tomorrow. And then the next person calls and they say today at around 5 p.m. would suit best for me. and then I believe this is the last person, the next one on the list. They tell you, yes, you can come over. In fact, if you want to come over right now, I'll show it to you directly.
Okay. All those are absolutely fine. I arrange appointments and things like that.
Yep.
And make my way over to that first person who's available right now.
Cool. You head on over. Doesn't take long to get there. You can see them. They come to the front door. They show you the gun. It's the correct gun, and the serial number matches.
Thank you very much for your time. I do appreciate that. It's a very nice weapon. I'm sorry for taking it with time. Have a nice day.
Of course. And they close the door and go back to whatever they were doing. We're then going to go over to Mr. Schultz, the good doctor.
Go, Doc.
Please.
Doc, your day is surprisingly quiet. Again, for some reason. You have appointments, but no one's showing up. There might be something going on. And after, your receptionist making a few phone calls, she has learned that there has been a pretty severe case of what you think is like a flu going around. It seems to have bedridden quite a few of your regulars. They, of course, aren't able to come out, but they know the general rule of, hydrate, rest, recuperate, the usual sort of things that you would tell them. There is an appointment on your list at 11 that is coming in for sure. But that's the only appointment you have currently on your list up until after lunch.
Who's the important appointment with? Is anyone I know of that possibly be important or relevant to this investigation?
At 11?
Yeah. Or is this just some geriatric who I've got to give some pills to?
Just a geriatric who you got to give some pills to. It's a regular. They're pain meds for their time in the war.
I'm in a pickle. It's like, what do I do here? I don't have any leads to chase up. I got nothing. Would I still have the number of that mob boss that I treated?
Yes, you do.
Okay, I can maybe go on a fishing expedition for that. So I'm going to try calling that number since I've got some free time.
So since you have some free time, you're going to give the mob boss a call. The mob boss does not pick up, but one of his lackeys does. They go, Doc, is there anything we can do for you?
Yes. I was just calling to do a standard checkup on my patient since I saw him. Obviously, making sure that everything's working out all right with regards to his treatment, and just one of them sort of medical catch-ups, as we like to call them.
Of course. Give me one moment, and I will direct you to his private phone. 2 moments, and then you hear the line go dead for a second, and then a ring, and then a hello, and it's the same old Batman that you remember.
Yeah. Hello there. It's Dr. Schultz here. How are you doing today?
Oh, good doctor. Yes, I'm doing pretty well, thank you. The meds you provided for me have helped immensely. I feel a lot better.
Oh, fantastic! That is excellent news to hear. I'm glad that the treatment seems to be going well for you. So, are you thinking that the issue has now resolved itself, or are you still needing a little bit longer with the treatment? I mean, how big of an improvement do you feel that you've had?
It looks like most of it's cleared up entirely. I'm still using the powder you gave me. It's, use it all up sort of thing, but it seems like everything is mostly back to normal.
Excellent. That's really good to hear there. I thought I'd call just to make sure that was the case. I got your note and just wanted to make sure that everything was going swell for you, and it certainly seems that way. Excellent, excellent. Well, do please continue using the powder until you fully used up the supply I gave you, and that should definitely put an end to this matter for you moving forward.
No worries, no worries. Is there anything I can do for you, Doc?
Yes, you also, on your last note, asked me about if I could speak to you on particulars of an unrelated event. Something relating to the shooting. So, I am currently working alongside a private detective. Starting, there seems to be a case that there are 3 suspects involved. Now, I have not managed to get any specific names, but certainly things are heating up between the various gangs and of the city, and the police might be making a move on some of their subjects. So if one of your people might possibly be getting the finger pointed at them, that, you know, I'm not the police, I'm a doctor, so I'm not bound to assist in these matters on a legal side, if you catch my drift.
I do indeed, I do. So there is some belief among the rest of my cohorts and the Parisians that there is a move against an enforcer of ours by the name of Floyd Basilion. Floyd has had some history with various activities around town, mostly ganging and, you know, fighting and stuff like that. Stuff that it's been toned down a lot in the last few years. And if there was a man who had a reason or a chip on his shoulder to do something, it would be him. I could have an old chat with one of my lieutenants and see if we can figure out where he's hiding.
Of course. Certainly, I'm quite confident we don't really want the police to move forward on this on any time soon, given the volatile situation of the matter. So, if this could, obviously, I'm not sure how you would operate there on cleaning house internally if that is the case. But I mean, how confident are you that this gentleman is the one who was involved in the shooting?
Well, I can give you answers on that, but as far as I can tell, if this person is doing things underhandedly, we do not want them associated with our organization anymore. I will do some digging. I'll get some information to you. Would your office or would somewhere else be better to send that?
Well, as privileged as I am as a doctor, my office will be fine. Just do me a favor, mark anything that you're sending in a brown envelope on the medical confidential, and I can assure you no one's going to be opening that up.
Understood, Doc. I've just checked a few things. We're all good on that one. I will probably have something for you by the end of the day.
Thank you. That would be much appreciated. And likewise, if I hear any more about this police investigation, I will duly forward that information on to yourself as, let's put it this way, as medical confidential conversation between a doctor and his patient.
Well, I have some work to get doing then in this case, so I don't have anything left, unfortunately. Thanks for checking up on me, though. It's appreciated.
Of course. And as I said, just finish up the bout, and I think you'll be right as rain after that. But thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you for your expertise, Doctor.
You have a good day now, sir.
You too. And he hangs up.
Yep. Well, it was a lot easier than it thought it'd be for going fishing for a name of one of the suspects. Immediately hang up the phone and call Bulleti.
You caught a salmon there.
Huh?
You caught a salmon.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I did. I bloody well did. On the first bite, too. Yeah, I'm going to call Bullet and just info dump everything I've just been told.
You call his office and he doesn't pick up because he's not there right now.
Oh, God, yeah.
I'm on the road again.
On the road again.
I can't wait to get on the road again.
Who else's number do I have? Damn it, I know I've got Bullet's number. Who else's number have I got? No one Bullet, is it? Okay. I'll just leave a message for them to get Bullet to call me as soon as convenient.
Cool. Yeah, there's someone who takes a message for you. And then, of course, you have your appointment at 11 you gotta get to. Ace is working, Lucy's waiting for Jake, so we're gonna go ahead and move forward in time then. Jake, it is 3 o'clock, it's time for you to be picked up by Lucy. Lucy, you show up on time.
It's me that's going with Lucy.
That's correct. Sorry, yep. Jake, you're being picked up by someone random stranger. They're trying to flirt with you. It's not going very well.
Who the fuck are you? Where's Lucy?
I don't know why the idea of Jake being flirted with and immediately reacting with "Who the fuck are you?" is so funny in my head. I don't know why, but that's so funny in my head. Okay, Ace, you're being picked up by Lucy. Your shift is ended. You see the giant motor vehicle outside. It's hard to miss, and also not hard to hear from a mile away.
You're just one little fox. You sure you need all this?
Yes.
Okay then. And Ace sits as neatly and primly as she can in this thing, because this thing costs more than 10 years' wages in both jobs. Probably more.
Probably not wrong.
Yep.
I mean, the base model maybe not, but this is definitely it's got some a lot of special. It's got a lot of packages.
It's got the extra
She's also barely been in anything that's run by a combustion engine, so
it's all new for her.
Yeah, no, Lucy, you get in. So we're going to meet. Do we have a location to go to?
It's 71st and Lau.
Okay. As driving, as she is wont to do with anyone she drives with, Lucy talks the entire time. She'd definitely be one of those people that just have a radio going a full blower, and every time she's driving, she just needs something to go for concentration. But I think that leads into she info dumps about her friend and connection to the shipping company and the name, everything.
So your young man is the son of Mr. Albright, who's the gentleman who brought the guns in from Nashville.
Yeah. I guess I wasn't. I didn't know that before. We've never.
Did you not know the young man's surname?
I hear the judgment in there.
You need to know his first name to moan it.
It's making a lot of assumptions about how skilled he is.
I mean, I can roll dice if you want to.
In the 1920s, but yeah, I had no, it hadn't come up. It hadn't come up specifically.
You young'uns. Now, so
you're younger than me.
No, Lily Rose is like mid-30s.
She was in university during the Great War. So that would mean...
Okay, so they're about the same age then.
Yeah, they're not that different in there. I mean, definitely Ace is an old soul. Older soul, I would assume.
She's seen some shit.
Yeah. Also works constantly. Lucy definitely looks younger than she is. But yeah, so that you learned that today. So I have a function to go to tomorrow that he's tagging along for. And I was thinking, because I need somebody, because Roach needs somebody who's better at taking notes nearby, that we can have someone that can bring someone else to this. It's going to a beach tomorrow.
Oh, I was going to take my mama to the beach.
Well, that works then. That works.
I'll need to get the day off.
How much do you make in a day?
An amount of money.
X amount of money?
Yeah, an amount of money.
An amount of money.
It's about 50 cents an hour with tips.
All right. Take a sick day. You'll get. Don't worry. You'll have the.
But I'm not sick.
That's.
That's very cute.
Yeah, the tone with that was very cute. I know. I know. No, lie.
I can't lie to Mr. Joe.
Yeah, yes, you can. As far as I know, you haven't had any brain damage, so you are physically capable of lying. I'm telling you, I will pay the equivalent that you would make during that time so that you can get the day off without...
the short circuit.
I'm giving you money to take the day off so that you are not financially disadvantaged to do this.
This feels real dishonest.
It is.
I don't deal well with dishonesty.
I don't get that. It's like two diametrically opposed outlooks on life. I'm just saying that's the easiest way. Get the day off because you're sick, and then show up tomorrow. Say you had a chest cold or I don't know, a headache.
But I'll be going to the beach if someone sees me go to the beach, and then says, "Oh, I saw Lily Rose at the beach," and Mr. Joe says, "Oh, she was off sick," and that's gonna get me fired.
It's okay. One, everybody you work with is going to be working.
No, but I got regulars.
All right. How should I say this? It's a diner, right? That she works at.
Yeah.
A diner. And this beach we're going to, this is going to be like a kind of an upscale thing that's happening with a lot of like drivers and photographers and that kind of thing. Like it's more of an upscale event
for the day
slash
yes.
meet
for the event slash meet that's going on in that for the day. Yes, it's more of an upscale thing. The beach is still obviously open to the public, but if you're going there that day, you're going to be there probably to see the cars and to talk about those and less about being on the beach.
You'll be fine. The chances that you meet a regular that you see every day at that particular function are very low.
See what I can do.
You're gonna tell them that you're going to the beach, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll ask Jake as a backup. But that's gonna ruin things with Ollie though. because I could make the argument that you going there is okay with
But
us.
won't a lady like me and her mama also ruin your day?
Not particularly. I was gonna say you were a cousin or something.
I'm a skunk.
Like twice removed.
By marriage.
Yeah. Now listen, I don't have any skunks in my family, but I definitely have quite a few canids that are not foxes, that are extended family.
I'll see what I can do.
What, you speciesist? I'm learning so much about the woman I've lived with for 20 years.
We should go see Miss Viola.
I mean, we've been here for the last 5 minutes.
Literally standing outside her door having this
Yeah,
conversation.
we've been parked.
Lily Rose short-circuited. She did not understand any of those concepts.
Yeah, no, hun, we've been here for a while. You just stopped talking for 30 minutes. You were staring into the middle distance.
The scary thing is Red actually does that sometimes.
It's the third floor. I brought some donuts.
Well, I already had a breakfast, so it's okay.
Well, it's 3 o'clock, and you should always bring a gift if you're going to see someone.
If you saw my breakfast, you'd be all right. You'd not be okay. Either way, she goes. Things are parked, and we head.
So we head up to the 3rd floor, find the right door.
Yep.
And knock twice, pause, knock 3 times.
Yeah. After a moment, you hear the deadbolt be opened, and then the chain be removed, and the door opens, and in front of you is a
Second deadbolt open.
There's a turn of a lock in the key. There's the sound of a shotgun uncocking.
There's a latch. Yeah.
There's a numerical pad somehow being inputted. Standing in front of you is a probably closer to 6.5 feet tall coyote lady. She looks at all of you and goes, "I wasn't expecting company."
Good afternoon. My name is Lily Rose Stone. This is my companion, Miss Lucy. You were given your name by a friend of yours. We're not the police, but we have questions about the Amethyst Eye. I can prove I'm not the police. I brought some donuts and...
Donuts is not going to help to prove you're not the police.
That's freaking perfect.
We're not the police. I have donuts.
It's like the definition of freaking irony. I'm not the police, but I've got donuts.
I'm not the police. I brought donuts and coffee.
That's such a cop thing to say.
Yeah, that was such a immediately already gonna say. That was like saying you're not the police is such a police thing to say, but you made it even better.
Yeah, you made it even more not the police.
See, all I've got in my head now is the Tom Hardy "I'm Not a Cop," the Businessman song. If any of you ever seen
Yes,
that.
I have seen that.
I'm not a cop.
Yeah.
A businessman with a business plan. Definitely not a cop.
Definitely not a cop. Okay, so I'm gonna need you to.
We brought
roll
beignets. We'll retcon it. We brought beignets.
We brought croissants.
Now, beignets are a thing. That's a Louisiana thing, or that's specifically New Orleans thing.
Brought some beignets. So I'm going to ask.
Yeah, which are 90% powdered sugar, really, for the taste. It's just
good
kinda,
lord.
it's just kind of cooked dough with powdered sugar.
That doesn't sound bad, honestly.
It's not.
Sounds like it's bad for my heart, but good for my soul.
Not really. Just bread.
Yeah.
Bread with powdered sugar.
Uh,
Fried bread, but yeah.
fried bread. Make me a will.
Can I help with anything?
possibly. This is
I gotta get my book for my gifts.
I'm going to say you're not being deceitful. So you're not telling them any lies, which is funny because the way you phrased it makes it definitely sound like you're lying to her. Negotiation.
Right, I would like to add my personality because it's just going to make it funnier, which is hopeful.
Okay. If you want to make an assist roll, Lucy, you can do the same thing. You can make a mind negotiation roll. And how this thing works.
And can I claim fast talk as well?
Yes, you can.
I was looking. I have something called team player. And I'm
yeah,
seeing
so
what it
basically
is.
the way team player works is that when you assist, you give a d12 instead of a d8, and if you fail, you don't negatively affect Red's roll. Because I had team player when I played as a character in the Trakoga Knights, and we used that a lot because it was very helpful. All you need to do
I
That
also have luck.
player was amazing.
Yeah, I also have luck. So if this doesn't go well,
you can re-roll it.
theoretically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should you roll first? I'll roll.
You have to
I'm
roll
gonna
first because
declare
you
team
have to roll
player,
first because
so
it's
D12.
assist. Yeah, you have to roll first because it's an assist roll. So
Yep. So D12. I'm going to use luck. That was a 2, which is I think every D12 I've rolled so far in this campaign is rolled under a 5 or under a 3 actually. So I'm using luck to choose to re-roll 1 dice of a roll, and I'm going to re-roll the D12. Went out of the box. Okay, 7.
cool. You got a success, so that means Red, you get an extra d12 to your roll.
Thank you.
3d12 plus 1d6. You got 3 successes and a tie.
Oof.
Okay, so she stands there for a moment contemplating things. You can see there is like gears turning in her head, and then she goes, "Yeah, you're way too nice to be a cop. Come on in."
Thank you, ma'am.
Also, the fact that we're both women would discount us as being police officers. I wasn't going to say anything because it makes better. It's I don't
In
know about
Mikey's
this
world,
world.
we've already had a female cop, so
Yeah, so it doesn't really. But yeah, historically, wasn't allowed. At least not as an officer. Secretaries were the thing.
Yeah. So you're in the room. It's a very nice room with a big table in the middle. There is a full ashtray with a freshly put out cigarette in it. Food's been made. Looks like she was in the middle of cooking, or maybe in the middle of prepping for cooking, which she goes back to while you're inside. She has put back the deadlock, put back the chain and everything else while you guys were inside. She goes, "Why don't you go take a seat and I'll get back to making my dinner."
thank you, ma'am.
No worries. And she goes ahead and gets back to chopping up some vegetables to put into a saucepan. And she looks to you guys and goes, "So, I assume you guys are here about the business at the Amethyst Eye. Is that correct?"
Yes, ma'am.
So, ask your questions.
Why do you think the police suspect you?
Well, I run a small section of the Muldoon territory nearby. I believe there was a confirmation that the suspected murder weapon was found in a nearby support pillar that had been hollowed out, which is a Muldoon thing. That particular pillar, however, was new, and we didn't have time to. We didn't believe it had already been hollowed out. However, obviously we were working on making sure everything was ready for anything that might come up in the future. So yeah, we expected something, but we didn't think that would have already been hollowed out and prepared. I mean, I know why I wasn't there. I know why I didn't do it. And she looks not necessarily embarrassed, but reluctant to tell you two exactly why she wasn't there.
Was it a close friend?
Yes.
I understand, ma'am.
I was occupied, shall we say, at the time.
Lily Rose goes a bit pink at that.
And because of that, I could not have been the one to kill that poor man. However, the pillar is what makes me curious, because somebody would have known that that pillar was hollowed out and that information given to somebody. That information is not something that many people outside of the Muldoons know. But I do know that it does circulate every now and again, and sometimes we have to stop using certain support pillars as drop-off points because they become public knowledge. Because, you know, it's hard to hide everyone from everyone's eyes. So that pillar, I believe, had been out of use for a week or two because some kids discovered it and left some candy in it that they wanted to keep away from their family. And we didn't want to leave anything in there that could get misconstrued or stolen or, worse yet, hurt one of the children.
Would you use those places for drop-offs for outside help?
No. Any outside help that we would have hired, we would have dealt with them in private, in a room much like this, where we would have given them what they needed to do their job and they would have left. And when it came to getting whatever we gave them back, it would have been handed back to us before they left the city. We want minimal contact with them, and as my boss has often told me, we do not hire exterior help very often because it's bad practice.
The lady who runs the Madame of the Amethyst Eye. We're working with a PR by the name of Big Bullet. He's kind of leading, but the rest of us are helping because we're all there. Just obviously, you don't want to pass the police. Is there anything you know or
Not hearing you.
anything or you heard anything?
You cut out there for a good chunk of what you just said.
Sorry. Have you heard anything or do you know anything? I know you were with your friend that night, but people talk.
I had heard some rumors from some of my subordinates that there had been targets placed on some people around the town, not just Muldoons, but some folks who they've ran into. We were looking into it just before this current attack, where we believe that there might have been somebody targeting shiners and deliverymen around town, but we couldn't really get any confirmation on that, as the last shiner we had die was about 2 months ago. We believe that there might have been some inkling towards there being another target in the Muldoons, but nothing has come across our desk that gives us any reason to believe that. So we're not sure.
Is it anything to do with the serial killer who leaves a fish?
Now you mention it, yeah.
Do you have any more names that are on that list?
No, there was just the one who died. We haven't lost anyone since. We have a firm belief that it was a random incident. It wasn't targeted, but now that you mention it, maybe.
Miss Lucy?
You're doing great. I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Lily Rose gets Jake's card out of her purse and puts it on the table. If you think of anything else, because I've kind of run out of questions right now. But if you do think of anything else, this is the PR we've been working with. He knows I don't really have a private phone line.
Okay, that's no worries. And she picks up the card, looks it over, and then puts it like in between some like books that are on the counter. Anything else I can help you with?
Have you seen any jackals around with a cut ear?
Jackals with a cut ear. No, I can't say I have.
I think that's everything from me. Miss Lucy?
Yeah, I can't think of anything else to ask off my head.
Thank you for your
covered
time.
everything.
Thank you for your time, Miss Viola. I hope this all clears up for you soon and you can get back to your work.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice to not be cooped up in here all the time.
Lily Rose leaves the donuts, gets up, and she's just going to leave food for everyone. This is going to be a theme. And heads towards the door.
Yep. Lucy follows. Not leaving anything.
Cool.
She doesn't have anything.
Nothing to leave behind.
The only thing she has a lot of spare of right now are shotgun shells, and that probably would send the wrong message to leave like a single shotgun. So.
Nice. So there is a few moments of you guys in the stairwell, and then nothing else happens. We will then pan to Jake. Jake, you've returned to your office. You have a letter. Sorry, you have a note that that has been left on your desk by your friend, the receptionist, whoever it may or may not be, from the good doctor to give him a call.
I call the good doctor. Well, I call the doctor.
You call a doctor. So
Doctor.
after a few
Oh no,
moments,
you're gonna get a very British accented person on the other end of the line.
House
instead.
MD
Well,
picks up.
Scottish.
Scottish.
House MD picks up. Who, yet again, still British. Yeah, your phone goes off, Schultz.
Judy answer. This is the medical center of Dr. Schultz.
Hey, Doc. It's Bullet.
Ah, yes, I was trying to get a hold of you. See, I caught up with a patient of mine that about his treatment, and let's just say he's somewhat highly placed among the Parisians, and in exchange for information about certain aspects that I discovered to do with police involvement, he kindly returned some information to me. I'm just gonna info dump everything they said.
Interesting. You didn't get yourself into trouble with this, did you, Doc?
I'm a doctor, Bullet. That means that all my conversations with my patient are covered by medical confidentiality, and they can't prove otherwise unless my patient says that we discuss these things. No law can force me to discuss that. I started the conversation to do with the medication he was taking. I ended the conversation to do with the medication he was taking. Anything that happened in between is neither here nor there for the eyes of the law.
Just wanted to make sure you're going to be safe, Doc. That's all.
I appreciate your concern, friend.
Okay, well, you keep doing what you're doing because you're giving me some good leads.
Of course, I'll keep at it. And if you don't mind, I'd appreciate if you return any intel that might be of use for exchange purposes as well.
If I find any people suffering from any ailments where they can't seem to get a straight answer, I'm sure they could be sent your way.
Oh, I appreciate that, but that certainly will help. But what I was meaning more specifically is obviously I can't just, as a doctor, just go up to this mob boss and constantly pester him for information. I've got to give him something back in return. That's more what I was meaning. If you find anything out that you're happy for me to pass along for his advantage in exchange for what he tells us.
I can see what I can dig up for you.
Thank you, much appreciated.
Take care now, Doc.
You too.
Interesting. All right. Well, I've got at least one more person to see today, haven't I?
Yes.
It's the lady who came running to the phone.
Indeed, yeah.
Okay, I make some notes on what the doc has told me, stick it in the desk drawer out of the way, and step back out of my office, wondering why the hell I ever came back here. I mean, why wouldn't I just stay out? But no, the DM said I had to come back, so...
You gotta come back to the office.
Yeah, so... My main concern right now is to track down all the guns that I can. And
Cool.
then kind of put pieces together when I've got some downtime.
No worries. So you head on to the you head to the person's home. It's not too long to get there. It's a brisk walk across the city. Rain has been middling as you get there. You knock on the door. A man answers and he goes, Mr. Bullet, I assume?
That's correct, sir.
Yes, one moment. And he waits for a few moments, and then you hear him call his wife down. His wife comes down with a handbag, goes, "Oh, Mr. Bullet," and opens the handbag and shows you the gun inside. You can see there is a serial number, and it matches the number you've been told, and etc., etc.
Thank you very much for your time, ma'am. I do appreciate your cooperation. Please enjoy the rest of your day.
No worries. Thank you, Mr. Bullet. You have a good one. And the two of them wave at you as you walk away and close the door.
And I go, damn.
Damn.
2 down, 4 to go. Or 5 to go.
So you head on. Well, are you heading back to your office, or are you going to head somewhere else now? Because you don't have anywhere else to go, I don't think, today.
No, I don't have anywhere else to go today.
Cool.
I'll go back to my office.
Right. You head on back to your office.
There's not much else I can do today, and these guns are the kind of the crux of what I'm dealing with right now, because we've got a murder weapon that hopefully is one of the 5 people that is left. And I've got appointments to see all of them, so...
No worries. So, you head on back home. Well, back to your office, which is also your home.
Yeah, technically speaking.
Yes.
There's a bed out back.
There's a bed somewhere. I'm not sure where we hide it, but there's a bed somewhere. So, once you head on home, your evening continues. Lucy and Ace, where are you headed now that you've finished up your little escapade?
Do we go and see Jake? You're on mute.
Yeah, I think we should. Not only did we get some information from her, we have information, I guess, from Lucy that we could give and I guess feed into the pile about Ollie and his connections, and we can kind of work through that, especially since she's supposed to be spending a day around him tomorrow. So maybe try and poke, see if it gets tracked down some stuff, maybe leads, something. So, and yeah, having Jake in on that would be good. Then we can have a reason for every player to contribute to lists of questions and go down options. So yeah, we head to Jake's office. Pretty sure
Lucy's car is outside Jake's office when he gets back.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure at this point Lucy just has a key. been his driver for better part of a week.
Yeah, so you get back. Jake is not in his office. Jake, you immediately spot the giant motor vehicle and know that it is Lucy's. Not that hard. There's only like 4 of them in town, and one of them drove regularly. The other 3 are actively just left outside big mansion houses. You spot them standing outside the doorway into the apartment, basically into the complex. They're waiting for you, obviously.
Ladies?
Good afternoon, Mr. Bullet.
So, what did you find out?
Should we go in?
Yeah, why the hell not?
Someone's testing. Yeah, we head in and I suppose we download off of what we've got from talking with her.
Cliff notes. Miss Viola has an alibi. She doesn't want to say his name, but she has an alibi.
Right. Well, that's annoying, but not unexpected. And I spent a day going to different places and figuring out that people already have their pistols and their all serial numbers match up, so...
We may have an in?
Really?
Well, I have a thing tomorrow with some friends, and she kind of goes over that, and then it says, and then well, an individual, I know him, and he's supposed to, and he wanted to. We got some small talk going. He wanted to see if he could join in, but he's the son of the owner of the shipping company that brought the guns in. I didn't know that until this morning. And got a day with him tomorrow.
Interesting. So you have a date
It
with the son
it's,
of the owner of the shipping company that brought them in.
I wouldn't call it that. We're going to the same
Spending
place.
time with the son of the owner of the shipping company that brought in the pistols.
Yes, that is accurate.
Alright, well, we've got nothing else really going on that's not going to burn a load of shoe leather, so see what you can learn. The Dark has also given me some interesting information. Info dump. So we've got some options. Although, if you do learn anything about any of the gangs, feed it back to me, because the Dark needs information to keep his options open at his end.
Not sure how much he would know about that, but
He's
I
in
don't know.
business. He's probably had to deal with the gangs at some point.
Lucy immediately goes to discount that and then remembers the fact that she's definitely had dinners at her home that her father put on that, well, he didn't say anything. They were definitely mob bosses. That were-
Was there alcohol at them? Yes.
Yeah, they said they worked in they worked in shipping and stuff and everything, and they had a lot of friends on the docks, and there was a lot of that kind of thing. So yeah, Lucy definitely remembers that and just shuts up at that point. A lot of guys she was called uncle that definitely weren't related in any way to her. So yeah, I think we can get something out of it.
Miss Lucy, Mr. Bullet, I have to go and tell Mr. Joe that I'm taking tomorrow off, and then get ready for work tonight. So, have a good evening, both of you.
I'm assuming you're doing this on behalf of the investigation?
She's sick tomorrow.
But I'm not sick.
Okay. If it helps, you could tell him to contact me, as I am employing
A private
you
citizen with
employing
no
you in
authority.
help with the investigation. I'm a PI.
Who is a private citizen
Who's a
with no
private
authority.
citizen, yes, with no authority, but
I'm just going to ask him for the day off.
okay.
But if anything happens at work this evening, I'll let you know.
All right.
Oh, I should get work off from there as well. Okay.
Yep. That one you could probably actually just say, yeah, no, I'm a part of the investigation, working into the shooting kind of thing. And that also would give us a little bit of an indication, because if they said absolutely not, then they definitely have something to do with it. Because your night job is the one in the speakeasy, isn't it? Yeah, so. I guess it's just me and Jake inside of Jake's office. I'm just goes like, hey, Jake, you should definitely have my number to give out in case you need to somebody else needs to contact somebody who needs a ride or something like that.
Okay.
Wink, 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 nudge, nudge. So the doctor has somebody else to call. You are the only point of contact with the group.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Well, why are you giving it to me?
Because think of a reason. Outside, like out of character reason, because technically Utari's character doesn't. Lucy and the doctor haven't spoken like I think directly to each other.
A little bit, yeah.
Not one-on-one.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I appreciate that. I will
Yeah.
endeavor to make sure that the doctor, I'm assuming Lily already has your number.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay.
Yes.
I also took a few of Jake's business cards to put in my bag.
Problem isn't that we don't have enough Jake. Everybody knows Jake. He's the linchpin here. So if he isn't next to his phone, nobody can contact somebody else. That needs to be to change.
Literally, I have to walk around. I invent the mobile phone because everybody needs to get in contact with me at some time.
There has to be another way.
What about radio signals? We could do that. We could have a thing where someone dials a certain number and it does an encryption and therefore no one can listen in. That would be brilliant. Nah, that'll never work. I'll just stick with doing the PI thing because that's obviously going to do more good.
But yeah. Other than that, there's not a huge amount to go over.
All right. So yeah.
Yeah, I think we've. I don't think there's anything else, unless there's anything else Jake needs driven to or to go check out.
Not today. It's tomorrow. We've
Yeah.
got the bits with the doc. You've got your date, but mainly tomorrow morning. I'm doing all the other guns.
Yeah, tomorrow's the beach episode.
Oh my god.
Every TTRPG campaign needs a beach day and a shopping day.
I think it'll be the first. Well, the shopping day definitely not. That's definitely happened an obscene amount of times in our campaigns. But I think in terms of like, I don't think we've had a beach episode, beach day in any of our other campaigns that we've played together.
But the first episode of Sleeping Giants was on a boat, so you could see a beach.
That's true.
I mean, I guess you could call it a dock episode because that's the only.
We've definitely been on a dock multiple times with Sleeping Giants, given the like situations we've been in and out in those games. Because we had who was it, the half-elf lady who wanted to find her family's fortune. We had to be on a dock for that to go to the island that she was looking for.
Sedna Marisol.
Sedna, yeah. So yeah, we've been on plenty of docks. Not many beaches, but plenty of docks.
Yep. Sedna, who has a very similar but distinct name to Sala, an individual in the campaign that I didn't intend to actually be a major NPC, but
became one.
Turned out to be, and became very confused. Very confused because Sedna was supposed to be a major NPC, so they got switched around, and their names were very similar to each other. That was the thing. But yeah, I think that's it for today's stuff to do around, because Lucy doesn't have anything to do set for her day. So she'll just.
I think we're kind of reached a natural.
The only thing is if anything happens at the speakeasy, but I assume that's a Mikey roll.
Well, you know what? Let's do that then. Let's move off the session with that. So, everyone goes around their regular rest of the day. Jake, you have nothing else to do for the evening. You decide. Well, actually, no, you haven't called Genevieve yet. haven't called Jenny yet to ask her about all this, because she's a cop. She might know.
Yeah, but there's no point calling at this time of night.
That's true.
I'll get her first thing in the morning.
That's fair. Excuse me. So, we go to the speakeasy. It is a fairly normal day for you. It's a slightly busier day than last time because it is now Thursday, if I'm following my days correctly in head. Yes, Thursday. It's now Thursday, so it's a bit busier for you. You have a few new people who have come in. You don't see that jackal, who you're probably keeping your eye out for. You have a fairly normal day, but we'll see if there's anything in particular that comes up. We shall see if there's anything in particular. Okay, so there is a couple cops who come here usually after the end of the shift. It's not quite closing time yet, but it's getting close to it. They've come in, pick up a last, they get their nightcaps before they go home for the evening. And you can hear them talking to each other. They are speaking about the possibility of a raid on a Lombardi hideout. There is a belief between these two cops that are sitting there enjoying a light beverage before the end of the evening, that there is a possibility that this Lombardi might be the person who killed that beaver at the Amethyst Eye. Sorry, he wasn't a beaver, he was a badger. The other bee animal. They are not sure if it for sure is this person, but they want to get them into questioning, and it's been very difficult to get their hands on this guy, largely because they are very, very well protected by the Lombardis. The Lombardis are an incredibly insular, protective group, as you've come to learn over this period of time. But apparently he sneaks out to visit his girlfriend every now and again. And there's a belief that they could possibly catch him going between Row and the 73rd Street, the street down the block from there, to get to his girlfriend's place. However, they don't necessarily want to cause a scene, so what they might end up doing is catching him on the way back from his girlfriend's place. And they're sort of going over the plan.
Do they say anything about him? Species, name, anything?
Make me a mind observation roll.
Can I use Streetwise?
Sure.
Four successes.
Yeah, you get a name for sure. You hear them mention the name David Laporte. And then you also hear them mention the fact that you have to worry about the fact that he's quite agile, as he is a mountain goat.
Gotcha.
One moment. Just want to check something. Okay, you're fine. And I believe that is where we will end the session now that you have learned that information. Unless you want... Well, it's a bit late. I think Jake and everyone else is probably either in bed or getting prepared to go to sleep. So we're going to leave the session there. It has been great doing the session with you guys again. I would like to give everyone a quick shout out. So if you want to check out Commissar Roach, you can find them on Blue Sky. If you want to find Rival or Red from RivalzoneGaming, you can find them on YouTube and on Twitch. So if you want to check those guys out, they're great content creators. If you want to check out Utari Onzo, you can probably find him on Twitter, or you can find him on YouTube. Maybe he'll start posting something there when Charlie's a bit older and he'll have a bit more time to himself. As for me, you can find me on YouTube at The Long Play Gamer or on Twitch at SurelyOnlyMikey. I've been streaming every day, 5 days. I've been streaming 5 days a week, 5 hours a day for the last little while. So if you guys want to check me out, you can usually find me there. It has been the Component Cast. This has been Bellegarde. Goodbye. And it has been an absolute pleasure having you all here. Bye-bye.
Bye.